Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So the brother asked, what is the difference between fiqh and fatwa? So when we study fiqh, we're studying for our understanding of these concepts. And normally as a student, we will study according to a certain madhab. And the reason we study according to a madhab is because it puts all of the different issues together, and it's peer-reviewed research that people come from a similar basis. Like all of the madhab, we come with a similar usul, and we come with a similar basis, and we're following the imam of our choice, such as like Imam Shafi'i. We follow him in his views. And these things, we don't necessarily go against him. But with fatwa, there is a bit of like, instead of just having a nathari, like understanding it in like a brainy way, we're looking at the actual occurrence. And we're taking into consideration the actual occurrence of what are people actually dealing with right now. And we're looking at this according to the light of the Quran and Sunnah, taking it back to that, of course not going against it, but sometimes there's certain things in fatwa that will be more open than there will be in the fiqh. So we'd say in fiqh, if someone doesn't say اشتريت وبعت لا بيع لهم. So if someone doesn't say when they go through the transaction, we say اشتريت بكذا. Like we don't say I bought this for this. We don't say it. We just come up to the ring, we come up to the cash register, we look at it, and we just hand them the card. We don't say anything. Like on the Shafi'i method, we say no, this is no good, because how do we know that we're happy? The only way that we know that we're happy is if we said, this is the price that I'm paying, and the other person said, this is the price that you're paying, and we agreed to pay. We say, اشتريت وبعت. بعت واشتريت بكذا. So this is something on the Shafi'i method, they would say this is no good. But the actual occurrence and the reality of the situation is nobody does this. So if we were to say, okay, everyone needs to change everything of the whole society, and all the money that has been taken is all incorrect, this is not looking into the reality of the situation and what the people actually need. So the fatwa would be for things that are just easy, like simple purchases. This doesn't have to be said, even though this goes against the madhab. But this is the fatwa that is given because this brings ease to the people, and it doesn't necessarily go against clear evidence, but it goes outside of the madhab as a qaida. You have to say what you mean. If you don't say what you mean, then we don't know what you're happy about. And so that's the madhab. And then the fatwa would be, the reality of the situation is the order for like the people. They understand what this means even if they don't say it. Even though, yes, we have this principle, and principle, this doesn't work. But for looking at the reality of the situation and taking into consideration this, will make this easier for this situation. And the fatwa actually takes the rulings and puts them into the individual. It actually brings the ruling and puts it into the individual circumstance. As opposed to us, when we learn rulings, we're learning it, but we're not always necessarily putting it into individual circumstances. And that is something for like a mufti, that he can actually do this and look at the individual circumstances and know where he should give that fatwa upon. And in general, there are like when they give fatwa, there's different stages of it. Someone's a mujtahid, he gives fatwa from his own ijtihad. And then if someone's not a mujtahid, but they've studied the madhab very well, they can give fatwa according to the madhab. So according to what is strong in the madhab, they can give fatwa according to the madhab. They know this is the strong view in the madhab, and so this is the fatwa according to the Shafi'i madhab. So there's differences of this, and occasionally a lot of the Shafi'iyya will give a fatwa on a certain thing that goes against like the established madhab, like in certain views. And these are also a lot of times they're known for the people later on that come. They'll talk about the fatwas upon this. This is what people act upon. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
The way we should treat the understanding of the other madhab, and if we could go upon.
Of course, no one is obliged to stick to an individual madhab. So, and also if somebody works on another madhab, then this is like in general this is okay, as long as they're not going against any clear-cut evidences. If there's clear-cut evidences, such as like someone wants to sell alcohol to the kuffar, this is a very very weak position. Like there's a lot of evidence that shows that this is not permissible for someone to sell alcohol to the kuffar. And so this is a place where you would get a little more on someone's case than if someone's going to talk about just like a certain difference of whether or not we say bit to or straight, So there's a bit of a difference of that, and of course people also need to understand anything where there's ijtihad that comes into it. There's no inkar on the other people when it comes to this. We agree to disagree if someone's following a mujtahid, or they're following someone that they believe is a alim in this issue. Then this is their right to take the fatwa and go with that. And of course nobody should ever be doing fatwa shopping. And this is haram to do fatwa shopping without wanting to know the truth of the issue, but just choosing the easiest thing. This is not permissible. But also, if somebody does have a fatwa and they're acting upon the fatwa of this, we don't do any inkar upon them in this issue, as long as it's something that is within the realm of ijtihad. Allah ta'ala a'lam.
How should we understand exactly what we're studying? Should we be looking at it from a certain perspective, or just
For like the muamalat, or in fiqh in general? Fiqh in general, a student needs to learn according to a madhab, because this is the only way he's going to put together the masail. Without the madhab, he's not going to put together the masail. He's just going to have a fatwa here, there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And it's all going to be based on different usul. And he probably won't understand the reason why is this. So it's always important that a student bases himself in a madhab, comes to the end of the madhab where he understands it well, he understands how things are connected to each other, and then later, if he disagrees in certain areas, then he goes off in his own ijtihad. And he's obliged to follow whatever his ijtihad leads him to. If he's qualified for ijtihad, then he's obliged to follow his ijtihad. But for a student, the student can't put together all of these issues except under a school. And so it's next to impossible for someone to just go open up and they say, I'm just going to do Quran and Sunnah. What is this? This is Quran and Sunnah. All of it is Quran and Sunnah, but according to whose understanding. So of course we need an understanding that's put together with qawaid and whatnot. And it's impossible really to make a new madhab because it takes too much time and effort that it just really can't happen. Allah ta'ala. But for the student, learn the madhab, learn the basics of it, and then later, after you understand that and understand the dalil, then learn the rebuttal for the other views. Where do the other views come from, and what is the response to it? And then later, you can come to a point of tarjih, where you say, oh, this is a stronger view according to the evidences when I study it, and I looked at all the different debates and whatnot, but this goes way down the road. That you don't want to get too involved in this until you've already got the basics down. Or else it's going to waste a lot of your time and you're not going to understand A and B. You're going to be spending so much time on C that you don't understand the rest of all the books. And these books, if we're just going to take a small book, it'll take almost a year. So of course, if you're going to waste half of a year on a masala in tahara, then you're not going to learn the rest of the book and for a long time. So for a new student, it's important that he takes things little by little and in a big picture, and then later he gets the small strokes. He takes broad strokes and then he does small strokes at the end. Wallahu a'lam. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.
فلذلك فادع واستقم كما أمرت ولا تتبع أهواءهم وقل آمنت بما أنزل الله من كتاب وأمرت لأعدل بينكم الله ربنا وربكم لنا أعمالنا ولكم أعمالكم لا حجة بيننا وبينكم الله يجمع بيننا وإليه المصير.